The spark in the bazaar. The meeting. The story begins not in a palace, but in the dust and diamonds of the Mina Bazaar in 1607. Prince Khurram, the future Shah Jahan, was a young man of 18, surrounded by the opulence of the Mughal Empire. Amidst the chaos of silk merchants and spice traders, his eyes fell upon Arjumand Banu Begum. She was hawking silk and glass beads, but to Khurram, she looked like a celestial being stepped out of a Persian miniature painting. It wasn't a mere political match. It was a soul recognition. For 5 years they waited to be wed, their longing growing with every moon. When they finally married in 1612, the prince bestowed upon her the title Mumtaz Mahal, the exalted one of the palace. From that moment, she was more than a wife. She was his shadow, his light, and his most trusted political advisor. She traveled with him to war-torn borders, lived in silk tents on battlefields, and sat beside him as he governed. Their love was a rare, singular devotion that silenced the whispers of the royal court. The night the world darkened, the tragedy. For 19 years, their bond was an unbreakable thread. But in 1631, while on a military campaign in Burhanpur, the thread snapped. Mumtaz Mahal was giving birth to their 14th child, a daughter named Gahara Begum. Complications arose, and as the desert night grew cold, the empress began to fade. The emperor rushed to her side, his crown forgotten. In the flickering candlelight of a military tent, Mumtaz Mahal took her final breaths. Legend whispers that she asked 2 things of her husband: that he never marry again, and that he build a house for her so beautiful that the world would know how much he loved her. When she died, the emperor's grief was so violent it shook the empire. He went into his chambers and did not emerge for 8 days. When he finally stepped out, his jet-black hair had turned completely white, and his back was bent as if he were carrying the weight of the Himalayan mountains. A dream rendered in marble, the construction. Shah Jahan's grief transformed into a holy obsession. He summoned 20,000 of the finest artisans, masons from Baghdad, calligraphers from Syria, and stonecutters from Bukhara. He chose a bend in the Yamuna River in Agra, a spot where the water would reflect the monument like a mirror. The construction was an epic of human effort. Over 1,000 elephants hauled white Makrana marble from Rajasthan. The walls weren't just painted, they were embroidered with stone. In a technique called pietra dura, craftsmen spent months inlaying a single flower with 30 different types of precious gems: lapis lazuli from Afghanistan, jade from China, and turquoise from Tibet. Every inch of the Taj Mahal was designed to be a teardrop on the cheek of time. The symmetry was perfect, representing the divine balance of God's paradise, where Mumtaz now resided. The prisoner and the reflection. The betrayal. As the Taj Mahal reached its completion in 1653, the sun began to set on Shah Jahan's reign. His son Aurangzeb seized the throne in a bloody coup and imprisoned his father in the Agra fort. For the last 8 years of his life, the emperor who had once ruled India was confined to a marble balcony. His only solace was a small window that looked out across the river. There, in the distance, sat the Taj Mahal, shimmering like a ghost in the heat haze, glowing like a pearl under the full moon. He watched his beloved's tomb every single day, unable to touch the marble he had commissioned. He became a prisoner of his own devotion, living only for the sight of that white dome. The eternal reunion, the finale. In 1666, as the winter chill settled over Agra, Shah Jahan breathed his last. His gaze was fixed on the Taj Mahal until the very end. His body was quietly carried across the Yamuna by boat, not with the grand procession of a king, but with the quiet dignity of a husband returning home. He was laid to rest in the lower crypt, right beside Mumtaz Mahal. While the rest of the Taj Mahal is perfectly symmetrical, his tomb is the only thing that breaks the symmetry, tucked slightly to the side of hers. It is the final romantic gesture. Even in death, he chose to stand slightly in her shadow, ensuring that she remained the center of the world he built for her. Today, as the sun sets over the Yamuna, the shadows of their tombs touch, proving that while empires fall and kings turn to dust, a love this deep is truly eternal.